Hello and welcome to day 5 of the 30-day baking challenge. Today we're going to be baking a chocolate chip cake with chocolate chip swirl frosting. I'm really excited. It looks really cool in the picture. I can't wait to see how this turns out. This recipe should take about an hour and a half to 2 hours. We have 2 eggs, mini semi-sweet chocolate chips, salt, canola oil. It also says you can use vegetable oil, but the first ingredient was canola. So vanilla extract, baking powder, pure cane sugar, and all-purpose flour. First thing we need to do is whisk together all the dry ingredients. Obviously not the chocolate chips, those come last. So we have 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, and this is a half cup, so we need 4, 2, 3, 4, and half teaspoon of salt. You gotta be careful pouring that out above the mixture, unless you do the salt first. Okay, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Guys, even it out like that so it's perfectly flat. 1, 2. Just whisk this together, and we're gonna set it aside and then whisk together all the wet ingredients. In my original ingredient video, I forgot to say milk and water as well. I have the water in there. Now I'm going to add the milk. This is a 1/3 cup, so I'll do 3, 2, 3. We're doing all the wet ingredients. Oil, teaspoon of vanilla, and 2 eggs, and you're going to whisk that together. Now what you're going to do is take the dry ingredients and whisk them into the wet ingredients. I think I had the bowls backwards because you probably need a large bowl for this. Now you're just going to slowly kind of mix it all up, and then once this is, it says don't over mix, do it until it's just wet and incorporated. Then you're going to pour the batter evenly into the pans. It says 2 round pans, but the ones that I have are kind of small, and I have 3. I'm going to try to do 3. After you get all the wet ingredients together, you pour in the chocolate chips, mix that in. It says don't over mix the cake batter. You just want to make sure it's all good in there. Then you're going to pour it into the cake pan, or cake pans. It wants you to use 2 8-inch round cake pans, but mine are kind of shallow, so I'm going to do 3. So there's 1, and you don't want to fill it too full because then it will overflow into your oven. That would not be pretty. Number 3, here we go. And I think 3 works because they are so tiny. I'm sure it's the same height and everything as if it were 2. Now you put these in the oven. For the frosting, we have butter, powdered sugar, heavy whipping cream, chocolate chips. Feels like there's one more, maybe. Oh, vanilla. First, what you're gonna do is beat the butter for a couple minutes until it's nice and smooth. After you beat the butter for a couple minutes and it's good and smooth, and you scrape the sides, and then you are going to add the powdered sugar a little bit at a time. This is a 1/2 cup, and then you're going to add 4 cups total. That was Wyatt. He likes to run in on the videos. Wait, that's 1.5. 2. 2.5. And it'll get less powdery the more you mix it, and when you add moisture. 3. 3.5. 4. We'll see what that looks like once it gets done mixing. After you scrape the sides, and then you put the vanilla in, and you slowly add the cream and kind of let that just soak in all the powdered sugar, and it'll become more frosting-like. There we go. And then you're going to go ahead and add the chocolate chips. I went ahead and added a little bit of water because the consistency was just way too thick. There's no way I'd be able to spread it. So I'm making sure the consistency is what I like before I add chocolate chips. You could probably add more heavy cream, but water is thinner. So I figure that will help with making it a little bit more spreadable. Once you get at the consistency you like, you can go ahead and add the chocolate chips. Kind of let that just go. They're not the prettiest cakes. I probably should have let them go maybe, I don't know, 5 more minutes or so. But that's okay. We'll still try it out. I'm gonna layer the cakes. I just want to get that first layer in there so it sticks. I'm gonna do that between each of the layers first. So I did find wax paper, and I figured I might as well film this part. I'm just basically cutting a spiral shape out of the wax paper, and then once I do that, I'm going to fill it in with chocolate chips, and hopefully it has this cool design on the cake. Let's see how it goes. I'm just gonna pour it around. I'm not really sure what's a good method to stay in line, so to speak. I don't know, kind of just spread it, hope for the best. Just want to make sure it stays like in correct spots. A little more. Like I said, there's probably better ways to do this, but this is my first try. Seems like an okay method. Okay, now I'm just gonna push it into the right spot and then take off the wax paper there. Kind of pushing in, brushing all the extras away. We'll see what happens. I mean, you want it to look good, so it might take a little bit, few minutes to get this nice. Keep going there. It's cool. It's like Wizard of Oz almost. Chocolate brick road. Okay, almost done. Because I want to push it down, mostly because when I take off this wax paper, I don't want it all to flood the other parts where it's not supposed to go. Okay, let's try. Let's see what we can do here. Here we go, big reveal. Just gonna do this nice and gentle. Fix all the rebellious ones. I'm going to rip this off because I want it to be smaller. There we go. Okay, now I can really see what I'm doing. Getting there. Kind of nice that the actual frosting has chocolate chips, so if you do have a couple that roll outside, it's not a huge deal. Just kind of blend them in. Okay, kind of getting more tricky as we get to the end of it. Not bad. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is probably move them around by hand, the ones that are closer into the middle. That way it's more defined. And I'm sure if you wanted to, you can go back through and push the frosting down with wax paper, or you can do the Reynolds wrap again if you wanted to, just to make it more smooth. But I kind of like the look. I'm just gonna leave it. But there you go, chocolate spiral cake with chocolate chip frosting. Looks pretty good. So I just finished the chocolate chip cake with the chocolate chip swirl. Turned out really pretty. I'm really excited to try that swirl method. Now I know how to do that. The cake itself was pretty good. I'm not sure between the cake or the frosting, but one of them is really buttery, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's a definite prominent flavor. But all in all, it's pretty good. I would make it again, perfect my skills. Anywho, thanks for tuning in. Hope you watch tomorrow. Thank you.